And welcome to Pioneer High School, where it is the JV contest between Pioneer and Skyline. And the freshman contest just ended. It went to overtime at 47 apiece. And then Skyline was able to pull that out with a 1-point win. I think it was 54 to 53. So that was the freshman contest. We're going to hope that everything works with our scoreboard, as I was trying to plug that in between the games, but our broadcast had already started. So it's going to be about 8 minutes and 22 seconds before we get going here. So we will play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will get going with the JV contest, and then we will have the varsity contest afterwards, probably a little after 7 o'clock because the freshman game went to overtime. So let's play a few messages from the MHSAA. We will be back with the JV contest. You're watching Pioneer Junior Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why do high school sports really exist? For 99% of the participants, it's the biggest stage they will ever play on, and it provides the most educational value, teaching sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, hard work, and teamwork. It's about playing with local friends against local rivals and creating lifetime relationships. They build community spirit, and they're worthy of your continued support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted. Just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we are about to get ready to go again, Skyline won the JV, or the freshman matchup, are about to get ready with the JV teams. Then we will have varsity coming up after this. As taking a look at the varsity stats here, Pioneer is 5-3, and Skyline is 2-8 at the varsity level. So we'll see what happens there. But first, we will have the JV contest as Skyline won the overtime for freshmen. Pioneer will try and win the JV and the varsity. Dunlop is out there, as well as Pollock, Smith, Scott, and Kesenich out there for Pioneer. So we're about to get ready. 8 minutes up on the clock. On the other side, Liambi ready to jump versus Kesenich. That grab by Scott. Scott coming ahead down the near side of the paint, trying to put it up. That block, but a whistle blown. 7:55 left. Scott was fouled, so he'll go to the line. Shooting 2. Bends the knees, eyes the rim, puts it up. Hits the front of the rim, the back of the rim, rolls in. First point there for Scott. 1-0 Pioneer opens up the scoring. Both Smith and Kesenich back in the front court for Pioneer. That one, tough luck miss off of the rim. Coming ahead the other direction is Skyline, now knocked away. Here comes Scott over to Pollock into the near corner. Dunlop for 3. That rims off over to the far side. Spiegel with it. Spiegel moves it ahead over to Vivara. There's a whistle underneath as Vivara fouled in the act of shooting.
Foul is on number 21. 22.
So Spiegel picks up the foul. First one by Vivara is up off the front of the rim, would not go. There's no 22 out there for Pioneer right now. So it must have been 23, Kesenich. Second shot coming by Vivara. That is good. So 1-1 is our score. Pioneer brings ahead. Dunlop coming down the far side of the court. Calls out signals, comes right on the blockades. Over on the near wing to Scott. Scott fakes to the left, gets it to Dunlop, top of the key, over to Kesenich on the far wing. Kesenich hands it off to Pollock. Pollock on the far sideline. Pollock gets a screen from Kesenich, puts up a three-pointer off the front rim, off the glass, wouldn't go. Rebound by Luyambi. Here comes Skyline the other direction as Spiegel puts it into the far corner. Now on into the far corner is Schaefer. Schaefer with the shot, that off the rim, trying to pull it down. Scott, that grabbed. Now a shot from Spiegel, that wouldn't go. And grabbed by Pollock. Pollock bringing ahead for Pioneer. 1-1 is our score. Now Dunlop on the near wing. Gets it top of the key to Scott down the near side of the paint. Put up, off glass, wouldn't go. That pulled down, rebound by Liambi. Now bringing it ahead is Spiegel. Spiegel comes over midcourt for Skyline. Gets it over to Vivara. Vivara just on the blockades, being watched by Scott. Vivara shots to the left, bounce pass, that knocked away by Smith. Smith for Pioneer. Pioneer the other way, back to Scott, back to Smith, puts it up and in. Smith with his first points of the game, and it's 3-1 Pioneer. Steal by Pollock, but it wouldn't go, rimmed all the way around. Schaefer moves it ahead, all the way across to Spiegel. Spiegel gets it down on the baseline, that pulled away. Here comes Pioneer the other direction. Kesenich over to Smith. Smith into the near corner. And put up by Pollock, and it's a three-pointer by Pollock. Pollock with his first points of the game, and it's 6-1. Pioneer with the lead. Luyambi inbounds it. Now Spiegel moves it over. And back over to Vivara. Vivara on the near wing. Vivara being watched by Pollock. Vivara just inside of midcourt. Vivara gets it back over to Spiegel on the near wing. Three-pointer off the front of the rim. That grab down by Smith for Pioneer. Now here comes Dunlop for Pioneer over midcourt. Over to Pollock for 3. That off the rim, off to the far side. Rebounded by Skyline. That brought ahead by Vivara. Vivara over midcourt, 6-1. Pioneer with the lead, 5:14 left to go here in the first. Vivara looking for a place to go. Whistle and timeout called by the Eagles. Let's play a quick little push on, and we will be right back. 5:06 left to go here in the first, as it is 6-1. Pioneer with the lead over Skyline in the JV contest between the men's squads. Inbounded to Vivara for Skyline. He's in the front court, double team there. Trying to get it back over as that's knocked away. Loose ball picked up there by Vivara. Now over on the far wing, Liambi moves it over to number 15. Don't have him on my roster, but Pioneer takes it away. Coming up the far wing. Scott has it, top of the key. Scott moving it over to Smith on the far wing. Smith coming into the paint. Now over to Scott on the near wing. Puts up a three-pointer off the rim. Falls off to the far side. That grab by Luyambi. Now moved over, bringing it ahead is Spiegel over midcourt. Spiegel picked up there by Scott. Spiegel, top of the key. Dishes it off underneath and just couldn't corral it there. I think that might be Wall if he has the same number on the varsity. Pioneer with the ball, 6-1 here in the first. 4:19 left to go as Dumma brings it over midcourt for Pioneer. Dumma gets a screen on the near wing by Wood. Gets it back over to Smith, top of the key. Smith over to Scott on the far sideline. Scott looking to his left. Now over into the far corner for Wood. Wood gets it back to Davis. Is that one? Out of bounds. That is going to be Skyline ball. 4 minutes left to go here in the first. 5-point lead for Pioneers. Skyline with the ball. It's brought ahead by Vivara. Vivara right at midcourt. Watched by that over. And picked up. Luyambi into the paint. Luyambi puts it up and in. Luyambi gets his first points and a whistle underneath. So that is going to be a foul on Smith. He picks up his first one. That is second foul on Pioneer, one on Skyline. So that puts Liambi at the line trying to finish off a three-point play. As that off the far side of the rim comes off to the near side. Davis moves ahead to dumb up for Pioneer. Pioneer has the 6-3 lead. Dunlop on the far wing. Pressure coming. Dunlop on that far sideline gets it over to Blank, then back to Dunlop. Dunlop coming down the baseline, puts it up and in. Dunlop with his first points of the game, and it is 8-3. Pioneer with the lead. Skyline brings it over midcourt. Vivara has it there. Into the paint, puts up a floater off the rim, pulled down by Blank. Here comes Pioneer the other direction with 3:13 left to go. Wood on the near wing, gets it back over to Davis. Davis back to Dunlop for Pioneer. 8-3, Pioneer with the lead. Scott has it on the far sideline. Back to Wood, top of the key now. Dunlop on the near wing. Dunlop puts up a three-pointer. Oh, that rims out. Getting it is Blank underneath. Blank gets it back over to Dunlop, who puts it up and in. He has 4 points, and it is 10-3. Pioneer with the lead over Skyline. 2:44 left to go. That brought ahead by Spiegel for Skyline. Over on the near wing to Vivara. Vivara, top of the key. Now gets it over to Curie. Curie trying to head towards the paint. Whistle right when he gets to the far side of the paint. That looks like that is going to be a foul on Scott. Kasanich looks to come in with 2:30 left to go. Third foul on Pioneer this quarter. One on Skyline. Skyline to inbound, baseline right as Curie to inbound. That ball sent out as that will go into the backcourt, but good save over to Schaefer. Schaefer moves it back over. Collision as Blank trying to get the ball from Spiegel, and that is going to be a foul on Blank. Fourth foul on Pioneer. One more, and Skyline will be shooting free throws. 2:23 left to go here in the first as Horton has it for Skyline on the near wing. Horton over on the far wing to Curie. Curie comes into the far corner, puts up a long two-pointer, and he hits it. Curie with his first points of the game, and that makes it 10 should be 5 indeed. Dunlop has it for Pioneer underneath the Wood. Wood gets it over to Kasanich, who puts it up and in. Great ball movement by Pioneer. Kasanich with his first points of the game, and it's 12-5. Pioneer with the lead. Spiegel for Skyline has in the front court over to Schaefer. Schaefer back to Spiegel, top of the key, and knocked away but grabbed by Horton. Horton to the baseline, out of bounds.
Now to the game, number 0, Andrew Pollock.
That is going to stay Skyline ball, 12-5. Pioneer with the lead with 1:42 left to go here in the first. Skyline to inbound, baseline right, as Horton looking to get it inbounded, but a whistle. That's going to be an off-ball foul on Schaefer, I believe. So Schaefer picks up the foul for Skyline with 1:41 left to go here in the first. Pollock brings it over midcourt for Pioneer. Pollock gets it over to Wood on the far wing, back to Pollock just inside the blockades. On the near wing, Blank has it. Now Dunlop down the far baseline, puts it up, in and one. 6 points for Dunlop, as that foul is going to be on Luyambi. So possibility of a 3-point play for Dunlop, trying to make it an even 10-point lead for Pioneer. Dunlop dribbles the ball, bends the knees, eyes the rim, puts it up and in. Dunlop leads all scorers with 7 points, and it's 15-5 Pioneer with the lead over Skyline. Bringing it is Horton for Skyline. Knocked up by Dunlop. Horton gets it back. Loose ball picked up over there by Luyambi. On the ground trying to get to it as they move it over, trying to move it to Carey, and that out the far sideline. That's going to be Pioneer's ball with 1:13 left to go here in the first. 15-5, Pioneer with the lead. Dunlop brings it ahead for Pioneer up the near side of the court. Dunlop over midcourt, over onto the near wing. Dunlop comes top of the key. Bounce pass over on the near wing, trying to get it to Blank. That tipped away. That's going to be a foul on Ray Hassan. So 4 fouls on Pioneer, 4 fouls on Skyline. Another foul committed by either team will put the other team to the line for the rest of the quarter. Dunlop has it for Pioneer in the front court with 57 seconds left to go here in the first. Pollock on the far sideline, over to Blank, top of the key. Now on the near wing to Dunlop. Dunlop dribbles to his right, picks up the dribble, gets it to Kesnich, top of the key. Kesnich at the far elbow, back to Dunlop, who gets back right by midcourt. Dunlop gets a little room to work. 35 seconds left to go here in the first. Dunlop stops at the far elbow, back over to Blank. Blank on the far wing. Blank puts it up and in. Blank with the score. And it's his first points, and it's 17-5. Pioneer with the lead. Horton in the front court for Skyline. Gets it over to Stewart. Back onto the near wing for Carey. Carey to the free throw line. That tipped away, out of bounds, will stay Skyline's ball with 9:07 left to go here in the first. Skyline wants to talk it over. Well, we will have the JV contest coming up, or the varsity contest, excuse me, coming up right after this JV game between these two teams. And then after that, our next Pioneer broadcast will be on Monday, if I check this out properly and look at our schedule. So on Monday, I believe we do have the JV and varsity women's basketball. That is going to be versus Dearborn. So we'll have that at 5:30 and 7 o'clock coming up. Is that back on the near wing? Skyline for 3, and hitting it is Carey. Carey, it's the three-pointer. He has 5 points now, as that shot right at the end of the quarter misses. So it's 17-8. Pioneer with the 9-point lead, and let's play a little push on here. Heading into the second at 17-8, Pioneer with the lead as Pollock has 3 points. Dunlop with 7 for Pioneer, 2 for Smith, 2 for Blank, 1 for Scott, and 2 for Kucinich. On the other side for Skyline, Luyambi has 2 points, 1 point for Vivara, and 5 points for Curie. 8 minutes up on the clock. Skyline will inbound right in front of us. It's Stewart to inbound. Stewart inbounds as Horton brings it over midcourt. Kucinich watching him there. That is going to be a travel. That will go over to Pioneer. 7:54 left to go here in the second. Pioneer looking to add to the 9-point lead. Dunlop brings ahead for Pioneer. Right over midcourt. Dunlop. Bounce pass over to Blank. Top of the key. Blank looks to his left. Blank over on the near wing to Kucinich. Kucinich comes just off the top of the key. Feeds it over to Pollock on the far sideline. Pollock sends it over. There's a shot from the near wing, and it's a three-pointer by Smith. Smith with 5 points now, and it's 20-8. Pioneer with the lead. Skyline in the front court as Horton has it over into the near corner as that's grabbed by Ray Hassan. Back to Horton, back to Ray Hassan in the near corner. He puts up a three-pointer off the rim. Pulled down by Horton. Horton coming on the near side of the paint. Dishes that back off for Stewart. Stewart for three. That off the rim. Pops high up because Kucinich trying to get that rebound. As that is going to be a foul on Luyambi. That is his second. 7:04 left to go here in the second. 20-8. Pioneer with the lead. Pollock brings it head for Pioneer right up the middle of the court. He gets over midcourt. Pollock cuts to his left. Now over on the far wing, over to Smith. Smith gets it into the paint for Dunlop. Dunlop over to Blank in the far corner. Down the baseline. As looks like he might have gotten a foul. So that's going to be Ray Hassan with his second foul. That is 2 on Skyline in this quarter. None on Pioneer as of yet. Blank. Back over Pollock into the near corner. Dunlop for three, and he rattles it in. Dunlop leading all scorers with 10 points, and it's 23-8. Pioneer with the lead. Quickly ahead, Vivara for Skyline. Over on the near wing to Curie. Curie trying to bounce pass, and a little miscommunication. That goes out. That will be Pioneer's ball with 6:31 left to go. Pollock to inbound, baseline right. Pollock gets it into Dunlop, who brings it head for Pioneer. Dunlop up the middle of the court, calls out signals. He gets over midcourt. Watched there by Curie. Now over on the near wing, Dunlop gets a screen, and that is going to be a moving screen. Foul is going to be on Smith. That is his second foul. So 1 foul on Pioneer, 2 on Skyline this quarter. Stewart inbound, just to our left on the near sideline. Stewart gets it into Vivara. Vivara approaches midcourt. Kucinich trying to pick him up there. Vivara double team. Now comes over to the near wing. Gets that over to number 15. Bounce pass underneath. That up and in. That was put in by Luyambi. He has 4 points, and it's 23-10. Pioneer with the lead. Dunlop in the front court for Pioneer. He gets a screen coming down the near baseline. Puts it up and in. 12 points for Dunlop, and that makes it 25-10. 15-point lead for Pioneer with 5:45 left to go in the first. Skyline in the front court. And back over to Stewart. Stewart trying to dish it off into the paint to Luyambi. Luyambi puts it up and in. Luyambi with 6 points. And it's 25-12. Pioneer with the lead. Dunlop over to Blank down the near side of the paint. Dished off to Kucinich, who puts it in. He has 4 points, and it's 27-12. Pioneer with the lead. Skyline quickly into the front court. Stewart moves it over to Vivara. Vivara back over into the far corner. And shot just off the rim over to the near wing. Here comes Pioneer the other direction. Dunlop down the near side of the paint. Dunlop puts it up off glass. That rims out. Pulled down by Dunlop, but a whistle underneath. That is going to be a foul on number 15.
Foul is on number 15 for the Eagles, Tyler McKinnon.
McKinnon, I do not have that. That ball over on the near wing. Up and in, Pioneer with the score. That was Pollock. So he has 5, so 4:51 left to go here in the second, 29-12. Pioneer with the lead. Skyline in the backcourt brings it ahead. Lee over midcourt. Lee just inside of midcourt, watched by Pollock. Lee now trying to get it over to Vivara. That picked up by McKinnon. Back on the far wing. Vivara has it, picks up the dribble, moves it over to Lee. Lee on that far wing. Blank trying to steal that away. Jump ball. So possession arrow points Pioneer's way. 29-12 Pioneer. With the lead, that is going to be a 17-point lead. Timeout call by Pioneer.
The timeout for Pioneers, full.
As they talk things over, let's play a quick message from MHSAA.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
It's 29-12 here. Pioneer with the lead over Skyline in the JV contest between the men's squads. Pioneer in their home whites with Pioneer and black lettering in on the front. Numbers in purple on the front and back. Skyline in their baby blue jerseys with Skyline in black lettering across the front. Dark blue numbers on the front and on the back. Pollock brings it over midcourt for Pioneer. Pollock over to Dunlop on the near sideline, back over to Pollock on the far sideline. Pollock trying to dish it off over as that's grabbed, as that was Rivera with it. Now Blank gets it over to Dunlop. Dunlop on the near sideline, bounce pass over to Pollock. Pollock trying to get it underneath, that to Rivera. Rivera back to Dunlop for 3. And off the rim, trying to pull it down. That grab, good rebound by Luyambi. Skyline in the backcourt. Over to McKinnon, who brings it up on the near sideline. Bounce pass. And over to Luyambi. Luyambi into the paint for Skyline. Puts it up with the right hand. Luyambi scores it and 1. He leads all. Skyline scores with 8 points. Opportunity to make it 9 with 3:38 left to go. That is going to be Rivera with his first foul. As the free throw no good, but rebounded. Luyambi has it. Coming down the baseline, that floated up. Wouldn't go, but put it in. Schaefer with the points. Schaefer with his first points. It's 29-16. Pioneer in the front court. Wood puts it up and in. Wood with his first points of the game, and it's 31-16. Pioneer with the lead. Lee brings it ahead for Skyline. Lee right over midcourt with 3:10 left to go here in before halftime. That ball into the near corner. Schaefer puts up a 3 off the near side of the rim. Falls off to the far side. Quickly ahead to Wood. Wood for Pioneer into the paint. Puts it up. Finger rolling in. Wood has 4 points, and it's 33-16. Pioneer with the lead. Coming the other direction is Lee for Skyline. Schaefer has it on the near wing, tipped away by Pollock. Pioneer the other direction. Rivera into the paint. Bounce pass, trying to get it to Dunlop. Dunlop tracks it down. Over to Pollock. Pollock puts it up. That off the rim. Pulled down. Loose ball. Pollock gets it back. Here comes Dunlop into the paint. Bounce pass underneath to Rivera, who puts it in. Good ball movement again by Pioneer. Rivera with his first points of the game. It's 35-16. Lee brings it into the front court for Skyline. Now that tipped away, but getting it back is McKenna. Shot by Vivara is good for 3. Bavara now has 4 points. It's 35-19. Dunlop has it on the far sideline. Blank into the far corner. He's double teamed. Blank trying to tip that off of a Skyline player. That will be Pioneers' ball. They're out of bounds, baseline left. 2:02 left to go before halftime. 35-19. Pioneer with the 16-point lead. Pollock to inbound. Blank goes off as Davis in for Pioneer. That inbounded Dunlop for three. Off the rim, comes off to the near side. Pulled up as grabbing that is Luyambi. Luyambi gets it over to Vivara. Now McKinnon has it on the baseline for Skyline. And trying to pull it away. That ball tracked down by Bavara. He comes into the paint. Whistle. Pioneer foul, as that is going to be on Pollock. So Pollock picks up his first foul. With 1:43 left to go here before halftime. 3 fouls on either team. Curie will inbound baseline right. That ball back over to Stewart on the near wing. Stewart gets it over to Vavar down the far side of the paint. Vavar puts it up off the rim, off to the near side. That put up by Luyambi. He has 10 points and an opportunity to make it 11. He leads all Skyline scorers. With 1:32 left to go. Did not catch who the foul was on. Luyambi trying to make it a 3-point play. Wouldn't go. Rimmed all the way around. Dunlop has it for Pioneer, bringing it up the near side of the court. Dunlop over midcourt. Pioneer with the 35-21 lead, 14-point lead. Ball over to Wood on the far sideline. Wood quickly double team. Now Rivera trying to move it over to Blank. That's stolen away by McKenna. Coming up the other direction is Vivara. Vivara for Skyline. Gets it over, tipped away by Blank. Here comes Blank for Pioneer. Down the far sideline, Blank. On the far side of the paint, puts it up and in. Off balance shot. Blank has 4 points. And it's 37-21 for Pioneer. Under a minute left to go. Stewart brings it into the front court for Skyline. Stewart watched by Dunlop. That tipped out of bounds. Good job by Davis to tip it away. Skyline will inbound on the near sideline. Curie to inbound with 49.2 seconds left before halftime. Curie gets the ball into the backcourt for Vavar. Vavar for Skyline. Moves it over midcourt. Dunlop watching him. Vavar picks up his dribble. Now over onto the near wing for Schaefer. Schaefer trying to get to down the near side of the paint. That ball back over to Stewart. Loose ball. Picked up by Curie. Curie gets it back to Stewart. Stewart, three-pointer blocked by Wood. Wood heads up the other direction for Pioneer. Dishes it into the paint. Put it up by Blank and in. Blank has 6 points, and it's 39-21 with 17 seconds left to go. Pioneer with the lead. Stewart brings it over midcourt for Skyline. Stewart just off the top of the key. Stewart moves it over to Schaefer. Schaefer down the near side of the paint. Schaefer spins. That's put up by Vivara for three. Off the rim, wouldn't go. Vivara with his own rebound. Puts up the floater and in right at the buzzer. That gives Vivara 6 points. So it's 39-23. Pioneer with the 16-point lead here at halftime. Taking a look at the Pioneer is, I believe, I think it's 5 points for Pollock, 12 points for Dunlop. He leads all scores. 5 points for Smith, 6 points for Blank, 2 points for Rivera, 1 point for Scott, 4 points for Kesenich, and 4 points for Wood. On the other side for Skyline, it is 10 points for Luyambi. He leads all Skyline scores. Vivara has 6 points, 5 points for Curie, and 2 points for Schaefer. So at halftime, it is 39-23 in that second half. Change that there. Pioneer ended up scoring at that point 22 in that second quarter. Skyline ended up scoring 15 in the second quarter. So Pioneer with that 16-point lead. We will play a few messages from the MHSAA. We will be right back with your second half action. You're watching Pioneer Men's JV Basketball, brought to you by Harper Broadcasting.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why do high school sports really exist? For 99% of the participants, it's the biggest stage they will ever play on, and it provides the most educational value, teaching sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, hard work, and teamwork. It's about playing with local friends against local rivals and creating lifetime relationships. They build community spirit, and they're worthy of your continued support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we are about to come back here at the end of halftime, where it is Pioneer, the JV contest between the Pioneer men's, Pioneer and Skyline JV teams. It is 39-23 Pioneer with the 16-point lead. Pioneer will be going left to right here in this second half. Spiegel to inbound for Skyline right in front of us. Gets that back over to Vivara. Back to Spiegel. Spiegel over to Vivara. Vivara, top of the key down the far side of the paint. Puts that up. Wouldn't go because Kesenich with the rebound. And that is going to be a jump ball possession arrow. Points Pioneers way. So Pollock to inbound. Baseline left. And brought ahead by Dunlop. Dunlop for Pioneer. It's over midcourt. Dunlop over to Pollock. Just over midcourt, Pollock down onto the far wing. Pollock double teamed, gets it back to Dunlop on the near wing, into the near corner. And shot by Scott off the back of the rim. Kestenich gets it. Nope, he stepped out of bounds. That will be Skyline's ball with 7:32 left to go here in the third. 39-23, Pioneers still with the lead. Spiegel inbounds. Vavara brings it up the middle of the court. Pollock watching him, Vavara. Over midcourt for Skyline, Vavara. Now gets it back over on the far wing to Spiegel. Spiegel dishes it off. McKenna puts it up, rims around, wouldn't go. Ball over, and that is going to be jump ball again. That is going to go over to Skyline now with 7:12 left to go here in the third. Skyline to inbound. As Liambi to inbound, baseline left. Gets that into Spiegel. Spiegel bounce pass back to Liambi. Liambi puts up the hook, wouldn't go, off glass, gets his own rebound, that off to the far side. Pulled down, Scott moves ahead to Dunlop for Pioneer. Dunlop down onto the far baseline, over to Pollock on the near baseline, wouldn't go. Skyline with the rebound. Liambi moves it now, bringing it ahead for Skyline is Spiegel over midcourt. Onto the near wing for McKinnon. McKinnon gets it. Vavara puts it up from the near elbow, wouldn't go. Pioneers ball, 6:42 left to go here in the third. Smith to inbound, baseline left. Blank in for Pioneer. Now Scott brings it up the court for Pioneer, over midcourt. Picked up by Spiegel there. Dunlop moves it on the far sideline to Smith. Underneath the basket, and sent over to Blank on the far side of the paint. Blank in a triple teamed, and there is a whistle. That is going to be a foul on Vavara. That is his first foul. First foul for either team in this quarter. Blank gets it over to Smith. Smith over to Scott, top of the key, back over to Dunlop at the far elbow. Dunlop steps back as he's just over midcourt now. Dunlop calling out signals, gets Blank over to his left. He gets a screen from Blank. Dunlop trying to work his way to the far side of the paint, tipped away, grabbed by Liambi. Liambi quickly ahead for Skyline on the far side of the paint, put up and in by Schaefer. Schaefer now has 4 points, and it's 39-25. Stolen away again by Skyline as Spiegel comes down. Spiegel puts it up from the free throw line, off to the far side. Blank gets the rebound for Pioneer. Blank on the far sideline in the backcourt, gets it over to Scott. Scott brings it ahead for Pioneer. Pioneer with the 39-25 lead. Scott on the near wing, works his way top of the key. Scott moves it over to Smith on the far wing. Smith gets it back to Dunlop, top of the key for three. That rims out over to the near side. Trying to pull it down, Kestenich, but that is a jump ball, and injured down on the ground is Liambi. We hope he's all right. As in the battle for the jump ball, it looks like he might have taken a blow to the head. He is down on the ground, and we will keep our fingers crossed. As one of the trainers out to take a look at him. Never ever like to see any of these young athletes injured. So we keep our fingers crossed that he is going to be all right as the trainers take a look at him. 5:23 left to go here in the third. 39-25, Pioneer with the lead as they continue to work on Liambi. Now he's able to get up. Good round of applause from both teams. Good sportsmanship by both fan bases. As Liambi walks off the court, he gets a high five. Looks like he's going to stay out there. So Curie looked to replace him. Curie will go back out. Liambi will stay. Now his coach will have a talk with him. They'll have Liambi sit down, and Curie will come in. Just make sure he's all right before he gets back into physical action there. 5:23 left to go here in the third. Pioneer to inbound, baseline right, Scott. Looking to get it in, Scott. That is going to be It's going to be a 5-second call. That will be Skyline's ball. As Spiegel brings it ahead for Skyline. Spiegel over midcourt. Spiegel working against Scott. Comes over onto the near wing. Spiegel trying to dish it off underneath. McKenna puts it up and in, and the foul. That's his first points of the game.
Foul is basket is good. Foul is 11.
So Smith picks up his third foul.
Shoot at the line. Tyler McKinnon.
So McKinnon to the line, trying to make it an old-fashioned three-point play. Trying to get it down to an 11-point game here. Shot is up and good. McKenna has 3 points. Pioneer in the front court. Dunlop has it. With it's 39-28, 11-point lead for Pioneer. Pesnich with a screen down the baseline, back over to Wood. Now Dunlop into the near corner. Dunlop for Pioneer, works his way around the arc. Dunlop just off the top of the key. 4:47 left to go here in the third. Dunlop working against McKenna. Moves it over to Smith. Smith. Bounce pass over to Kesenich. Kesenich on the far wing. Kesenich over to Blank. Top of the key. Blank to the free throw line. Back to Dunlop on the far wing. Dunlop calls out signals. Sends Wood to the other side. Dunlop comes down the near side of the paint. Dunlop over to Smith on the near far wing. Smith works his way into the paint. Floater up, rims all the way around. Off the glass, rimmed all the way around. Popped out to the far side. Coming the other direction is Spiegel for Skyline. Looking to get it down to a single-point lead for Pioneer. Spiegel, the near side of the paint, dishes it off underneath. Luyambi puts it in. He has 12 points, tied for the lead of all scores now with Dunlop, who brings ahead for Pioneer. 9-point lead for Pioneer. 39-30, trying to get it into Kesenich. That tipped away. That's going to be Skyline's ball. Pioneer has not made a basket since coming out of halftime. Skyline has 7 points. As over midcourt is Spiegel for Skyline. That knocked away. Here comes Blank the other direction. Blank down the near side of the paint. Blank puts it up off glass and in. Blank has 8 points. And it's 41-30. Pioneer with the 11-point lead. Bavara brings it over midcourt. Gets it over to Luyambi. Luyambi into the paint. That off the side of the rim, but a whistle underneath. And it's going to put Luyambi to the line. That is going to be Smith with his 4th foul. So Smith, one more foul, and he is done for the evening. Luyambi at the line. First shot up and bounces off to the near side. Off the rim, off the near side. One more coming for Luyambi. As he bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in, and it's a 10-point game. Luyambi now leads all scorers with 13 points. Dunlop for Pioneer in the front court, 41-31. Pioneer with the lead. Dunlop about 5 foot off the top of the key. Dunlop over to Kesenich. Kesenich just off the top of the key. Now over to Smith on the far wing. Smith into the paint, puts up a floater. Off glass, falls off the rim to the near side. Rebounded by Skyline as Favara brings it ahead. Over midcourt, Favara onto the near wing, to the near elbow, put up. Rebound wouldn't go. Whistle on the rebound. Looking for who the foul was. I thought Luyambi originally. Does look like it is on Luyambi. That would be his 3rd foul. So in foul trouble, Luyambi has 3. Ray Hassan has 2. On the Pioneers side, Smith has 4. Everybody else who has a foul has only 1. 2:51 left to go here in the third. 10-point lead for Pioneer. As Dunlop brings it over midcourt. Dunlop over on the near wing to Kesnich. Into the near corner for Scott. Scott works his way into the paint, puts it up, off glass, off rim, wouldn't go. Kesnich had it, but Curie pulls it away. Traveling called. That's going to be Pioneer's ball. As Curie trying to get out of a double team there, ended up dragging the pivot. It is Pioneer's ball. Blank into the near corner. Gets it over to Wood. Now Scott off the top of the key. Scott gets it over to Dunlop, just over midcourt. Dunlop with 2:23 left to go before the fourth quarter. Scott puts it up off the back of the rim, balls off to the far side. As Luyambi with the rebound, as that's knocked away by Dunlop. And just not to go into our table. Picked up by Luyambi. Luyambi over midcourt for Skyline. Luyambi gets it over to Curie on the far wing, down the far baseline. Put up, rings around and in. Curie with 7 points. And it's 41-33, now an 8-point lead for Pioneer. Blank has it on the near wing. Bounce pass to Dunlop, top of the key for Pioneer. Dunlop down the near side of the paint, trying to work through a double team and a whistle.
Foul. Foul number 12.
That's going to be a foul on Curie. So Curie picks up his first foul, 2 on Pioneer, 3 on Skyline. Dunlop to inbound, baseline right. Dunlop gets it in now. Pollock into Dunlop in the far corner. Dunlop for 3. Dunlop takes the game high now with 15 points and 44-33. Skyline in the front court. Over to Luyambi. Luyambi gets it over to Stewart. Stewart on the near wing. Stewart taken away by Pollock. Pollock in the backcourt for Pioneer. Pollock brings it ahead over midcourt. Pollock just over midcourt. Over to Blank on the near wing. Blank into the paint. Puts it up and off the glass. And over in a rebound by Skyline. Skyline brings it over midcourt. Curie down the far base side of the baseline. Wouldn't go. Excuse me, that was Ray Hassan. That will be Pioneer's ball out of bounds.
Now in number 31, Jake Schaefer. Also number 21.
Schaefer in for Skyline. Pioneer brings it ahead. Dunlop brings it ahead on the near wing is Pollock. Pollock back to Blank, top of the key. Now over to Dunlop on the far wing. Dunlop gets it over to Davis. Davis at the far elbow, picked up by Dunlop on the far sideline. 41 seconds left before the fourth quarter. Dunlop down the baseline, knocked away by Schaefer. Here comes Skyline the other direction. As Stewart over midcourt. That ball tipped away and out of bounds. That should be Pioneer's ball. 26.6 seconds left to go in the third. Pollock brings it up. As Pollock over midcourt. Pollock over to Kesnich on the far wing. Kesnich gets it over to Davis, top of the key. Davis back over to Kesnich on the far wing. Kesnich now picks up his dribble. Skies it over to Dunlop. Dunlop on the near wing. Dunlop into the near corner. Dunlop puts up a 3. That one falls short. Loose ball, and that will do it for the third. At the end of the third, it is 44 points for Pioneer and 33 for Skyline. Skyline with 10 points in the third, with Pioneer only with 5 points in the third.
Last quarter to go, so make some noise, fans.
As we are headed into the fourth, let's play a little push on.
This game is being broadcast on
44-33. It is an 11-point lead for Pioneer. As taking a look at right now, it's 5 points for Pollock, 15 points for Dunlop, 5 for Smith, 8 for Blank, 2 for Rivera, 1 for Scott, 4 for Kesemich, and 4 for Wood. On the other side, it is 13 for Luyambi, 6 for Vivara, 7 for Kiri, 4 for Schaefer, and 3 for McKinnon. 8 minutes up on the clock as we are into the fourth quarter. We will have the varsity contest coming up right after this. CTN is broadcasting the varsity contest as well. So if you would like to watch their broadcast, they typically have it on YouTube the next day. As that ball inside, Luyambi puts it up and in. Luyambi now tied for the game high with 15 points. Over midcourt, Pioneer, that put up by Pollock. Floater wouldn't go, falls off to the near side. Luyambi with the rebound. Here comes Skyline up the far side of the court is Spiegel. Spiegel coming into the far corner and handed off to Ray Hassan. Now down the far side of the paint was Horton. Gives it back over to Ray Hassan into the paint. Ray Hassan travel, and that will go over to Pioneer. 44-35. Pioneer with a 9-point lead with 7:24 left to go here in the fourth. Scott will inbound, baseline left. Gets it in as Scott brings it ahead. Scott over midcourt. Scott over on the near wing to Kesnich. Into the near corner is Davis. Davis back over to Pollock. Pollock back just over midcourt. Pollock for Dunlop giving a little bit of time. Over to Kesnich on the far wing. Kesnich being watched by Luyambi. Gets it back over to Blank. Blank, top of the key, over to Pollock. Pollock on the far sideline. Pollock gets a screen from Kesenich. Whistle blown. That is going to be a foul on Kesenich for a moving screen. That is his second foul, first for Pioneer in this quarter. Wood in for Pioneer. Skyline with down by 9. They have it in the backcourt. Bringing head is Spiegel. Spiegel over midcourt. Picked up by Blank. That knocked away. Blank gets the rebound. And that is going to be a whistle. Could not. So Spiegel picks up his first foul, 1 on Pioneer, 1 on Skyline in this quarter. Scott, the inbound, just to our right on the near sideline, right in front of the Pioneer parents. Back over to Dunlop in the backcourt. Dunlop calling out signals down to the far sideline. Dunlop on the far wing, down the baseline, that knocked away. Picked up by Schaefer the other direction. Schaefer for Skyline. Dishes it over now. Spiegel puts it back on the far wing to Schaefer. Schaefer traveled. Pioneer ball with 6:21 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer trying to hold on to the 9-point lead. Skyline has been trying to dwindle down. It was a 16-point lead at halftime for Pioneer. It was game high. Now over midcourt comes Scott. Scott over on the near wing to Blank. Into the near corner for Wood. Wood working around the near corner, dishes it into the paint for Scott. That's blocked. Pulled away by Blank. Blank. Bounce pass. That knocked away. Still loose. Down to the court. That is going to be a jump ball. Scott and Horton tie up the ball. Possession arrow pointing Pioneer's way. Ball inbounded. Blank puts it up and in. Blank has 10 points, and it's 46-35. Spiegel over midcourt as that ball fired from the far corner. That is going to be a three-pointer by Vivara. Vivara now has 9 points, and it's 46-38. 8-point lead for Pioneer. Smith works his way around the arc to the near elbow. Over to Scott on the far wing. Scott over to Smith now on the near wing is Davis. Davis has that tipped away by Schaefer. Schaefer right at midcourt, that out of bounds. 5:22 left to go. As 5:18. Skyline will inbound on the near sideline. Spiegel has it. Inbounded to Vivara. Vivara over midcourt. Vivara gets it over to Horton. Horton, top of the key, that knocked away. Here comes Scott. Gets it over to Dunlop. Dunlop puts it up off glass and in. Dunlop takes the game high again. 17 points. 48-38. Here comes Skyline quickly the other direction. Vivara gets it into Liambi. Liambi, he's fouled underneath the basket. That looks like it's... That is going to be, if my calculations are right, Smith's 5th foul. I may not be correct. They still have him out there. So scores table just lets them know it is the 2nd foul, or the 5th foul on Smith. So Smith has his evening done. Luyambi at the line. Bends the knees, puts it up off the back of the rim, wouldn't go. One more coming for Liambi, trying to get it back to a single-point lead for Pioneer. Liambi dribbles the ball, puts it up off the side of the rim, pulled down. Here comes Pioneer. Dunlop in the front court. Dunlop on the far wing. Dunlop over to Blank, down the baseline. Blank puts it up, rolls off the near side of the rim. Trying to get to it is Scott. Scott puts it up. That off the side of the glass. Wouldn't go, but a whistle. That is going to be a Davis with a foul. That is his 1st foul. 4 on Pioneer, 1 on Skyline. As right over midcourt is Vivara. Vivara for Skyline. 10-point lead for Pioneer. Vivara working against Kesenich. Vivara on the near side of the paint. Picked up his dribble, gets it over to Liambi. Liambi comes top of the key. Liambi picked up his dribble. Timeout, Skyline. 4:17 left to go here in the 4th. Skyline calls the timeout. We will have the varsity contest coming up right after this, as there'll probably be about a 10-15 minute break between those two games. Again, taking a look at the two teams. Pioneer is 5-3 on the season at the varsity. They beat Northville 58-56, lost to Wayne Memorial 73-67. They beat Monroe 62-37. They beat Bedford 60-40. They beat East Point 41-48. They fell to Saline 70-60. They beat Detroit Catholic Central 55-54, and then fell in the game on Monday. That was a 2-point loss, 56-54 to Lincoln. On the other side is Skyline, who is 2-6. Their wins were versus Ypsilanti Community and Plymouth. They had losses to Jackson, Saline, Huron, Warren, Lincoln, Rochester, and Harper Wood. So that's a little preview of your varsity game. Coming up next, 4:17 left to go here in the JV contest. Spiegel inbounded onto the far wing, over to Horton. Horton on that far sideline, that tipped out as Wood had it, went out of bounds on the far sideline. McKinnon back in for Skyline with 4:11 left to go. Ball inbounded, Liambi puts it up, rattles it home. Liambi now again tied for the game high, 17 points. Dunlop down the near baseline. Dunlop puts it up, wouldn't go, but he's fouled. That will be the 2nd foul on Skyline. That is going to be Vivara's 2nd foul. They'll put Dunlop to the line, shooting 2. First one is up and good. Dunlop takes the game high lead again with 18 points now. He and Liambi have ended up tied for the game high a couple times. Second shot from Dunlop, up and good. He has 19 points and it's 50-40, back to a 10-point lead for Pioneer. Under 4 minutes left to go here in the fourth. Bringing it ahead is Vivara for Skyline on the near sideline. Gets that right back over to Spiegel. Spiegel just off the top of the key. Spiegel comes down the near side of the paint, puts it up and in. Spiegel with his first points of the game, and it's 50-42. Pioneer with the 8-point lead. Dunlop has it on the near wing. Dunlop for Pioneer. Into the paint, spins with it, puts it up off glass, and it got stuck between the rim and the glass. Knocked down. Good job to poke that out by Schaefer. Believe that counts as a jump ball. Possession arrow. Oh, no, it was a foul, excuse me. So Vivara picks up his third foul. Dunlop to the line, shooting 2. First one is up and good for Dunlop. He has 20 points and makes it 51-42. One more shot trying to get it back to a 10-point lead with 3:27 left to go. Dunlop bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in, nothing but net. Dunlop with 21 points. Game high, Vivara brings it up for Skyline. Vivara over on the far wing to Spiegel. Spiegel back over to Vivara. Vivara on the near wing to the near side of the paint, puts it up off glass and in. Vivara with 11 points, and it's back to an 8-point lead for Pioneer, 52-44. Down the baseline, Pioneer, Dunlop. That's tipped out of bounds. As Rivera back in for Pioneer, he replaces Kesenich with 3:06 left to go. Ball inbounded right to the paint, put up in by Blank, and Blank has himself 12 points. Back to a 10-point lead. Ball knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay Skyline ball in the backcourt with 3 ticks under 3 minutes left to go. 10-point lead for Pioneer. As McKinnon to inbound baseline right. McKinnon gets it inbounded to Vivara. Back to McKinnon, bringing it up the far side of the court. McKinnon over midcourt for Skyline. McKinnon on the near wing, puts it into the near corner. That put up by Schaefer for 3. Wouldn't go, as that will stay Skyline ball. 2:44 left to go here in the fourth. 10-point lead, 54-44. Full timeout. Let's play a couple quick messages from the MHSAA.
Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Skyline to inbound, baseline left. Pioneer with the 10-point lead, 2:44 left to go. As that ball inbounded down the far sideline, Spiegel has it. That's going to be a travel ball over to Pioneer. 2:40 left to go. Blank to inbound, baseline left. Pioneer with the 10-point lead. Dunlop brings it ahead for Pioneer. Dunlop coming up the near side of the court, right over midcourt. He's picked up by Spiegel, double team, moved over to Scott. Scott, bounce pass over to Blank on the far wing. Blank coming down the baseline, tries to get it over to Wood, back over to Scott. Now the ball over on the near wing to Blank. Grabbed by Dunlop. Dunlop working his way back just inside of midcourt. Skyline, aggressive defense. That over to Blank. Back over to Wood on the far sideline. Wood into the far corner for Scott. Scott down the baseline. Scott bounce pass back over to Wood. Wood dishes it off to Blank. Blank about 4 feet inside of midcourt as that ball tipped. It looks like it's a foul. Luyambi picks up his 4th foul. 1:59 left to go here in the 4th. Pioneer up by 10. Time becoming an issue for Skyline. Pioneer love to take advantage of as much of that clock as they can. Dunlop just over midcourt. Dunlop dribbling to his left, now cuts to the free throw line. Dunlop bounce pass, trying to get it over to Rivera. Tipped away by Skyline. Pioneer will inbound, baseline right. 1:41 left to go here in the 4th. Ball inbounded to Blank, now on the near wing. Wood gets it in, that put up and in. Dunlop now has 23 points, and it's 56-44. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. Spiegel in the front court for Skyline. Whistle blown. Blank picks up his 2nd foul. That is the 5th foul on Pioneer this quarter. That puts Skyline to the line, shooting 2. So Spiegel to the line. He has an opportunity to get back to a 10-point game. Spiegel bends the knees, puts it up, rims around off the near side. The back of the rim falls off to the far side. One more shot coming for Spiegel. As he dribbles the ball, bends his knees, eyes the rim, puts it up. Off the front of the rim, wouldn't go. Pioneer with the rebound, Rivera. Moving over to Dunlop. Dunlop. Pressure in the backcourt by Skyline. 1:19 left to go in the 4th. Scott on the far wing. Scott into the paint. Puts up the floater and in. Scott with 3 points, and it's 58-44 with 1:10 left to go. Spiegel brings it for Skyline on the near side of the paint. That back over to McKinnon. 3-point. Put up and in. I believe that was Spiegel with the 3-pointer. He has 5. Dunlop the other direction, dishes it off. That ball blocked as Rivera trying to put it up. Out of bounds. That should be Pioneer's ball with 50.1 seconds left to go. 58-47. 11-point lead for Pioneer. Skyline wants to talk it over. Again, we will have 50.1 seconds left to go when we get back. 5 fouls on Pioneers, so if they commit a foul, Skyline goes to the line. 4 fouls on Skyline, so the next foul they commit puts them in the bonus, and Pioneer will have 2 shots out there. We will have the varsity contest between Pioneer men's varsity basketball and Skyline coming up after this. Have just a little break between the two. It's both squads talking things over with the full time out. Foul trouble for Pioneers. Smith has fouled out. 2 fouls on Blank, 2 fouls on Kesenich. On the other side, 4 fouls on Luyambi, 3 on Vivara, 2 on Ray Hassan, and everyone else who has a foul only has a single foul. Dunlop to inbound, baseline right for Pioneer. Inbounded as Scott has it. Scott moves it over to Pollock. Pollock gets it over to Blank just inside of midcourt. Blank gets it into the paint. That put up, whistle blown as Wood trying to put it in, but a foul that is going to be on Luyambi. That should be Luyambi's 5th foul. So Rivera comes back in for Pioneer, replacing Pollock. Wood to the line. Now Luyambi goes out as that was his 5th foul. Coming in is Ray Hassan for Skyline. Wood to the line, shooting 2. He has 4 points, and off the front of the rim, off the glass, would not go. Trying to make it an even 12-point lead. Second shot is good, up off the back of the rim. Pioneer with the rebound. 38 seconds left to go. Dunlop has it. Pioneer with 11-point lead. Dunlop on the far sideline. Dunlop now trying to work his way just over midcourt. Dunlop to the line, shooting 2. He can make it a 13-point lead. Game looking to make it 25 points, and he has a quarter of a century. 25 points for Dunlop. 60-47. Pioneer with the lead. Skyline brings it ahead. Stolen away by Scott. He'll just dribble it out. Now comes down the baseline. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And that will do it. Pioneer JV wins by a sword. We'll have the varsity contest coming up next. Thank you very much for watching. And final score 60-47. Pioneer